Hey, what's up? Thank you for coming on to another video, and today we're going to talk about how do I deal with a catty mother-in-law. Number one is don't get drawn in. I mean, it's so easy to dish out negativity when it's dished out to you first, but regardless of her talking about the way that you are as a wife, talking about the way that you are as a mother, talking about the way that you dress or the way that you carry yourself as a woman, it is not your business to take her opinion. Just leave it alone. Don't get drawn into her cattiness, because if you're catty because of her being catty, then that's just going to perpetuate the cycle and there will never be any peace. And it may not be peace in your relationship per se, but it will definitely be peace in your mind, because oftentimes what would happen is she says a comment that you don't like, and then you say a comment back to her that she doesn't like, and it keeps going back and forth. And then you go home and you bring that energy to your husband or to your children, when actually the person that you're frustrated with is a catty woman who you don't even have to get wrapped up in her mess in the first place. And the reason why I'm saying don't get involved in it is because at the end of the day, you're a grown woman. And this is the perfect segue to number two. You don't have to explain yourself. Any woman who is about her business, who is about her family, does not have to explain herself to anybody, especially if it is your husband's mom. And on this one, I would highly suggest you do what my son does to me. Sometimes when he's in his cell phone, he blocks me out. I may be calling him and I'm like 5 feet away and he doesn't hear me. Or it's he hears me and I'm not relevant to him at that point, because what's more important is what he's watching. You may have to tune your mother-in-law out and be that same way. Yes, you're being catty. Yes, you're being negative. Yeah, you're being petty. But you know what? You hold no weight, because you're not my priority right now. You're not important in this moment, because I don't accept that type of behavior. Why? Because I'm a grown woman about my business who loves my man. I love my children. I love my family. And that's all I want to focus on, is love and positivity. And I can't have these negative vibes occupying my space. And number three is sometimes you just got to call them out. My wife is the most direct person I know. And that made me uncomfortable for the first few years of our relationship, because it was a paradigm shift. You know, I was used to dealing with my mother and her telling me to shut up or go to the other room and not wanting to talk because of her own personal frustrations. And I internalized that as what you have to say doesn't matter, or don't have conflict with your mom. Your husband or your boyfriend may not have the strength to speak up to his mother. So in this instance, you have to be the person to speak up, because if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. And that's not to say anything negative towards your man. Listen, he's a mama's boy. He may have learned, and in order to have peace with my mom, I have to have no conflict with my mom. But no conflict and having peace at the expense of your sanity, that's not something you want to do. Sometimes things have to be attacked head on. And if you are the woman of your household and you don't need another woman running you or running your marriage or running your relationship, then you have to speak up. Do it with taste. And if you need some advice on that, just check in on my last video. But at the end of the day, still speak up. Hey, I hope that you enjoyed that video. Hopefully it added some value to you. Make sure that you leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the 3 ways that you deal with a catty mother-in-law. My name's Sharif, Mr. Aim for I Am Ali. And as always, if no one has told you, allow me to be the first. I see the supreme lover in you. See you next week. Blessings.